Sound clear.
Awesome. That's good. All right. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the episode 44 of Planet Xbox. Got a great show lined up for you guys today, and a few guests here. So I'm happy to have. So
yeah, I crashed.
We're gonna get the introductions out of the way. I am your host, the best bot, Kid Smooth.
And after yesterday on RDX, you are really the best bot.
Oh, okay. So my botting's gone though, right?
Yeah, it's gone now.
Yeah, you good.
Awesome.
You good.
It was really bad yesterday, man.
Yeah, I have to do a makeup show if Diller lets me.
Yeah, we'll have you back on.
Addict, introduce yourself.
What's going on, you guys? Gaming Addict here. That's all.
Awesome. Dope Gaming, what's up?
It's Frogs with Dope Gaming. Just here to talk.
And we're gonna go with Merc.
Yo, what's up, Merc 305? We're back again for another episode. Looking forward to getting to these topics, man. Let's get it. Let's get it.
Also, Cycle should be on his way, and Grinds My Gears should be on his way. So they got a life, so we'll expect them soon. But till they get here, I'd like to introduce guests. Dirt. Is it Griggity Dirt or is it Dirt Griggity?
Dirt Griggity. Dirt Griggity.
Dirt Griggity. Yeah, I'm just like
Where
Dirt
the hell
Griggity.
are you getting these people?
No, Dirt hit me up on Twitter, and Dirt hit me up on Twitter in a DM one day about, and this is why I can't wait till Jez come in. But he had his feedback on the show and where it was going. And,
as long as he doesn't say, "Can you dig it?" all the time.
And he shared his feedback with the show. And I don't know why I came across this video on YouTube, and I watched it. I was like, "Oh, I like this video." And then I searched him on Twitter just to see if I was following him or not. And lo and behold, he was in my inbox already. I'm like, holy shit, I got to get you on the show. So go ahead, tell them who you are, where they can find you, and what you play,
What's up, y'all? This is Dirt Griggity. I'm a small YouTuber. I'm an Xbox guy, but I also enjoy the PlayStation. You know, I have a PS4. So, you can find me on YouTube, Dirt Griggity. That's GRIGGITY. Check me out.
Awesome. And then I have the all-star of the day is who needs no introduction, but you can have the floor, Taylor.
The All-Star. I'm just an asshole with a microphone like the rest of you. Thanks for having me on. And let's have a fantastic show.
Yeah. Now,
man, you can't put yourself on my asshole league, okay?
So, yeah, just quite a few things coming out as far as more rumors.
I know I crashed the podcast, but you forgot about me already?
Holy shit, yeah. Oh my god. My bad, dude. Holy crap.
Yeah, I saw that coming.
Because I literally forgot that you were actually, because you're not, this wasn't the podcast.
Forgot that you existed.
No, this was not the podcast.
Nah, it's my fault. I crashed. I mean, I couldn't even ask.
No excuse. Kid would have done that if you were supposed to be on the podcast.
No, this is not the podcast he's supposed to premiere on. So, Critic, please introduce yourself. You'll have a proper formal introduction pretty soon.
All right.
Yo,
you probably heard. Hey, what's going on, Jez? So you probably heard my name around here thrown around by as Critic, which the full name is Honest to Critic. You can find me on Twitter at the same @Honest to Critic. But yeah, I'm ready for this gaming topic. Let's go.
Looking at his image, you could tell he's a PlayStation fan.
Oh my god! Really? How? That's not even anime. That's not even a gaming.
No, but it's anime.
Stop! Oh my! You need to stop.
And look who we have. Is that?
Yo, what's up?
Grinds My Gears. How you doing?
What's up? It's Grinds My Gears. Jez7780 back again. I'm wearing my Grinds My Gears shirt.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
What are you talking about?
You're wearing a Gears of War shirt.
Why? Gears of War 5, baby.
Gears of War 5.
I'm ready.
Let's do it.
Got my shirt on.
All right, so all right.
I'm already ready to kick this loser out of the podcast. Like you ain't been in the podcast for more than 30 seconds. I don't want you out already.
I hope you're not talking to me.
Oh yeah, I'm talking to you.
Oh, this already going left already.
I didn't do anything. I'm just wearing merchandising.
First thing I want to talk about, and Diller, you could have the floor, because here's the thing: there was a lot of stuff was said, and this actually, the invitation of you coming on this week actually really didn't really have anything to do with the stuff that went on. It was just I had the opportunity to ask you, I think, when we were in a party chat or some shit.
Oh,
like
you're
that.
talking about all the trash that all these trash YouTubers have been talking about lately? Yeah.
The situation, if everybody don't know, this whole thing about consoles is not about games should be about games. It should be about the features and stuff that everybody's fully overblown. This actually started on RDX podcast. I remember I was watching the episode, and it was a super chat you were reading, right?
Yes, it was.
And I know you probably explained this a couple of times, whether it be on Twitter or your own platform, but it's that incident caused over 15 podcasts, about 7 personal live streams.
Oh shit!
And a host of tweets.
Oh man, all eyes on me, huh?
Yeah, all eyes on you.
Look, man,
you know what I mean?
all I gotta say is, yo, Dilla, you paying people's bills right now. Your name is paying people's bills.
You know what? Guess what? They're paying mine too when they send people my way. So, I'm gonna go ahead and just skip to the bullshit. All this was created thanks to a guy that nobody gives any credibility, especially now after the flip flop and stuff. Took a 3-second clip, and then put it out there, or somebody on Twitter did the same, something like that. And it's where I'm reading a super chat, somebody saying, "Hey, personally, I think that a console is defined more by its the things that I can do on it." And that was just that guy's example. What he defined his console by: the UI, the experience, and all that good stuff. And I said, you know what? I agree, because in my head I'm thinking I define the Xbox like it's like saying you define a car by the motor and the motor alone, because it's absolutely necessary for a car. It's not a car without a motor, right? Video game console is not a video game console without games. No one ever said games weren't coming or we didn't have games, we weren't getting more. We all want more games. I've been preaching this for months and months and months. My point was, when I look back and I define the 360, I think of all these fantastic games that I used to define that generation, not that console, because most of them are multi-plat. How do you define a one console with multi-plats that are on everything, right? So I think that, okay, these great games like Mass Effect, BioShock, all this stuff define that generation. I defined the 360 by how I took those games and my friends and had a fantastic time online. So to me, the 360 is defined by the good times I had on Xbox Live playing Modern Warfare 4 or Modern Warfare 1. Does Modern Warfare 1 define the 360 for me? No. But my main point was everyone's different, right? Now, when they say that games define a console, like I said, to me, I think games define the generation more than anything. But I would also say that when you say games define a console, what you really mean is games define or exclusives define the console. That's what a lot of these people are getting at. And as I said, games are extremely critical, but a lot of people don't play the exclusives. How do the people that only play Call of Duty and Fortnite right now define their PlayStation or their Xbox? They would probably not define their whole console based off of exclusives. Some people use it for media or the good times they have with their friends. That's what comes to mind. They would define their Xbox or their PlayStation that way. My point is, don't make absolute claims. People define it. I know people that only use the Xbox One X as a 4K Blu-ray player, right? Never played a game on it because the S was a very cheap 4K Blu-ray player.
People use the PS2 for just DVD and the
PS3 for Blu-rays, and that's my point. Like, there are people that don't even touch games, and that's what I'm saying. Like, you can't just make an absolute claim like that. I'm not saying that games aren't important. They're absolutely.
It's the whole fact of people using absolute claim. That's just preference. Like, what do you use your system for? That's just his preference.
Well, this is where it really went left, is when when idiots say that I don't want new games. And I'm like, where the fuck did you hear that from? Link me to where I said that, because I've got 400 games. I got over 100,000 gamer score. I probably play more games than most all of you.
Well, that's a perception. The perception is that Xbox gamers are content with what they have.
Well, that's their problem for listening to a 3-second clip. Me and Fonzarelli destroyed all these people pretty easily, and it wasn't really malicious. We're saying, hey, here's the clip that was played. It's bullshit, and you know what? Here's the proof. We're gonna play the full clip. And boom, there you go. Like, and at the end of the day, it's all opinion. And for people that have to run out, and this is kind of the problem in the country today. People hear a fucking soundbite or they read a title to an article and they're like, oh my God, pigs
yeah,
are
it's not
flying.
that it's not that different from journalism. Yeah, from gaming journalism.
But I'm just saying
just
that
clickbait.
you know, that's the problem. Don't be part of the problem. If you hear some bullshit, go and look into it yourself because you sound stupid. I've gotten so many DMs about these people on their YouTube channels. Some of their subscribers will message me, or even some of the people on their own shows. Like they'll be next to the host in the show saying this. Will message me and say, I watched the show and I know he's full of shit. I don't know why he's not talking about what you actually said. You know, it is what it is. They need content to talk about. And if they want to try to take me out of context once again, this is not the first time, kid. You know that. These people, that's what they do. So they want to attack me because I define my Xbox One through the whole experience, just like I would define a car with not only the engine, the steering wheel, the seating, how comfortable it is, the connectivity. There's so much to a console, just like there's so much to a car. I'm not going to define either of them based off of one thing. Yeah. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it over the overall experience.
Well, if the question is what defines it, what defines a console, it's what defines it for you. What keeps you playing
exactly.
on there.
Exactly. And games are chief among them for me, as well as the overall experience.
Is it the online? Is it the controller? Is it the people you interact with? Like,
mine's the controller.
Well, you know why it's a controller.
But for those that are listening, though, I mean, the proof. You think I'm lying right now? Surely there's some idiot out there that thinks I'm lying. Just go to my channel. I put out 4 videos this month before all this happened, where I'm like, Microsoft have to double down on software. Single player narrative driven software is what I'd like to see, and I feel like there's a massive demand. God of War was fire. You know, I mean, it's all right there. Just go look at it. But, you know, if you want to be one of those idiot sheeps and you want to go and you want to believe what you're told because someone that doesn't like me told you that, you want to be one of those people that are looked at as stupid by the informed, then if that's your prerogative, go ahead. I'm done.
Yep. Fair enough.
Hey, message to all mods. If people be going at, like, saying some dumb shit in the comment section, don't be giving people time out for the shit I just saw.
What happened?
Yeah, I don't want to go into it. Just continue.
All right, cool.
we can look it back and see how angry people are. Give me your tears.
No, I don't think they're timing out. I think they're just hiding the message.
Them salty tears.
Yes, love them. So yeah, kid. I mean, I think you saw the full podcast. You saw exactly what was actually said, and maybe that's why you were one of the few that was like, "What the fuck are you guys talking about?"
Yeah. It's the fact that I tried to remind people on Twitter. I was like, you guys, you know, you're referring to like a super chat, right? From somebody you guys don't even know.
I didn't.
And there was like, but he's agreeing.
He's agreeing that you have to find everything on one thing.
I didn't even see the podcast and I knew it was blown out of proportion. I was like, you know how often I've talked to this man in Xbox Live parties and all he does is say we need better shit? Like, this is ridiculous. Like, I didn't even look at the clip. Like,
and it's not even like I don't hide it. It's out there. I'm one of the most outspoken guys in this whole community, and I think Kid would agree.
Yeah,
I've got no reason. You know, same thing with the Tomb Raider thing. Everything. I just keep it as real as I possibly can. And if people that don't like me for one reason or another don't even check out my shit, but say you're toxic, you're the example of the idiot in this situation because you're pushing all this shit on people you don't even keep an eye on. You have no clue what their opinions are,
I know. I mean, this is what you could be doing. You could be doing like, you know, single man podcast 3 times a day for about an hour and a half, and talking about the same shit you've been talking about for the last 3 weeks. That's easy.
It could be that way. I could talk about wanting those single player narrative games, which are my favorite, by the way. Uncharted, God of War, Gears of War 4 campaign I run through a few times. Like, you know, I'm an Xbox guy, but I love great games. And when people say I don't want more games, like I said, link me, bitch, because I never said that. I'm saying the opposite. Just check out my videos. You know,
if the person running with that clip wasn't enough to prove that it was bullshit, I mean,
it doesn't matter because
enough said.
Let's just, like, we've said enough. Let's just go on to the topics.
Yeah, and I don't want to dwell on it anymore. Yeah. It's up to those people.
There's a soundbite I wanted to address because they'd be like, "Well, you should address this." I was like, I'll do you one better. I'll have him address it. All right, so let's.
One more thing. Dealer, I got an idea for you. You could do, like you said, the single man podcast and just call it Dealer's Choice.
Yeah, or like these people should do. I could mind my own fuckhole and keep my notes to the ground. and just focus on my own shit. Maybe if you focused on your own shit, you'd be doing better. That's just what I would say to it all. Worried about drama and you're wondering why you're not growing. It's insane. So don't worry about me. Just anyone who watches my shit, there's a reason that the like ratios are pretty great. And, anybody who sits and watches is common sense. I'm pro-consumer, and that's what I want, more games. I even talked about it today. And go back and watch it. It's all proven. I've already talked about all this before all this even happened. Before I agreed with that super chat, I've already hammered this game shit into the fucking ground. So anyone who watches knows.
Diller, you want to know how you can turn in from an Xbox fanboy to a real gamer overnight?
Not play any of the opposing exclusives and then say they're amazing.
You got to do the 180. You got to flip flop, right?
I don't know. I've said this before. I don't have a problem with the Hollywood Hogan Act, but when you just outright lie to people about things, that's when I don't respect that at all. Like, I get the game. You want to play Hollywood Hogan, that's perfectly fine. I'm nothing against anybody for that.
Yeah.
But when you're lying about people and you're playing a 2-second clip and you're hitting that fucking mouse click as fast as you can after that last word, so no other context comes out of that, then your idiot audience, who are mostly powering your foolishness through super chats, fuel it and don't bother to go find a source, and they just believe everything they hear. They're sheep. Then that's the problem. You create misinformation, and I don't respect that type of shit. So,
gotcha. You know what I mean? Also, just to start getting into some of the topics now. This isn't a header topic. This is something I tweeted about on Twitter, of course. I've seen people talking about after the somewhat EA leaks, and this is how we can transition to the whole Xbox total sales. But some people referring to as the Xbox as a niche brand. Like, I want to know your thoughts on that. Who want to tackle this first?
Niche, huh, kid?
Niche. I mean,
or niche or niche.
2.25 billion in earnings in a quarter.
Man.
In a quarter,
Pretty niche.
It's among its most profitable in history, but it's niche.
Hey,
so
look,
the 360 was niche as fuck, huh?
That's a bad
the
choice.
only
That's a
people
bad
buying
choice.
this is that homeless dude that saved up $200 apparently.
Niche is
Like,
a
you know what it
bad
is?
choice of words.
People say that because of the PlayStation 4 selling blockbuster, right? But what people don't realize is that PlayStation is about to eclipse the PS3 sales over 8 years in half the time. So that just goes to show you how good PlayStation's doing. So does that mean Xbox is doing bad? No, I just think that Sony's doing that good,
Sony's doing great, man. You can't take anything away from the PlayStation 4.
Yeah, they're doing awesome
when it comes to sales. But does that did because the Wii was outselling the PS3 and 360, that made me not like the fucking PS3 and 360? Absolutely not.
No.
So who gives a shit?
People didn't even count it even then. They still didn't count it as like a competing system, even though it was selling more. A lot of people dismissed it.
I mean, bro, kudos to Sony, man. They crushed it this gen. That's a fact.
Mm-hmm.
What I think is, I don't think it's a niche console, but I do think that its global appeal was challenging for the Xbox One. Rather, the 360, I think, was definitely more geared to a global market. I know they made it smaller to appease the Japanese. They made it white console, and I think they ran into a lot of issues with the Kinect early on with the language, basically trying to get that rolled out globally. And I think that's one of the issues, is that it's global struggle that it has over the other two competitors. But I won't say it's niche. I would just say it's more of its global appeal is definitely less than the other two.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I agree. I agree with Jez. Like, I just think that Xbox has never really had strong global appeal ever at all.
But they did address it though with the 360. That was one of their major things.
Right.
I think Peter Moore was a big head running Sega and doing that stuff. I think that he was really aware of that Japanese market, and they even try to get Lost Odyssey, Blue Dragon. They try to reach out to specific Japanese developers and made a big global attempt, especially they had the year advantage, but a global attempt at the 360, where, remember with the Xbox One, they didn't even release that thing until into all the countries until like a year later. They're still rolling out countries. And I think a lot of it had to do with the language and all the different languages Kinect had to interpret. But and I think that's where you're seeing the struggle with the global sales, because it's doing decent in the United States versus the competition. It's really just Europe and Japan. Well, Japan, whatever, but Europe is really the key market that they're
Xbox
really
is regressed in the UK. That's for sure.
Yeah, I remember
it's
them
done better in
being
the
real
UK.
big in the UK last gen with Forza. Like I thought, if you had an excellent racer, you would get the UK audience or that European audience because of they were big racing fans there. I remember that being.
Go ahead. My bad.
I remember that with the 360 though. Like one of the big things was with the racing games. Like get a racing genre you'll lock down because that was like GT's area, and like Forza creeped in there and actually was being a real solid racer for them in the European countries. I'm not saying all of them, but I think definitely the UK or around there. They they definitely address more their global market with the 360 one.
I was just gonna say you could tell that the UK market's definitely impacted when they lost that marketing deal with FIFA for sure.
Yeah, they had that too, and I thought that was like in the beginning of the Xbox One, they had that deal, and that was like kind of their way of doing that. And they even promoted a lot of the local UK like developers, like Rare, and
And one of the things that I feel like is hurting Xbox too is they don't have a baseball game. I know a lot of people that have PS4s because of the show.
Oh yeah,
That's true.
My brother.
I
Super Mega
think
Baseball 2 free on the gold.
I agree with you, Jazz, and on the global appeal. And I don't think since the original Xbox has really had the global appeal, and any Asian country, it's just been hard for the Xbox to really drive home that they're different. And I think that they're so different than the Nintendos and the PlayStations that PlayStation's had. You got to think they've had a generation leap ahead of them as far as consoles. This is Sony's fourth console. This is Microsoft's third console. Sony's been in the game doing it for a long time, and they have a lot of things to help them behind it outside of just finances. If we don't talk about finances, Sony they do other things that help them, I think, bring production value to the table. And Microsoft is, the software aspect. I think that the original Xbox, they did a very good job entering the market, but I don't think people were ready for that in a way. But with the 360, they really bought the Xbox Live and all these other things to the generation that was that era of the that was the our Apple phones. That's when Apple the iPod, that was the first iPod, the first Apple phone. All that stuff didn't exist really until that 360 gen, and so that was really the tech era. And then when you look at the 360 and you look at our last generation,
it wasn't big. It wasn't as big as it is now. It was popularized. Xbox.
And Daniel B in chat was saying it was huge in Germany. Like the 360 was huge in Germany. You're saying,
but if you look at the last generation, and you think if the last generation was unlike any other generation.
Oh yeah, they defined online with Xbox Live.
Yeah. And actually, I think with the Xbox One though, I think that they have definitely with their games portfolio been much more less kind of like the shooter box that they were with the 360. They attempted to do other things that I think that the 360 just stuck to their shooters and really let third party just fill out the gaps. And I think this with the One, they were definitely much more open to different types of genres, like even launching with Rise, like a single player. Well, it had some multiplayer in it, but like a third person action game, like with that, and launching with that rather than just like a shooter. With the 360, they launched with Perfect Dark, and with this one, they didn't launch with any first party shooter with the Xbox One.
Yeah,
they had Perfect Dark with the 360. So I think the One was definitely much more like broad appeal with their games, but I just don't think they were hitting as they should be because I think they need much more vision. I don't know. I just feel like the games, like I said, is not really.
They had something to show though. They had Titanfall 1. That was their big.
Yes, that was their big one.
It didn't launch, but that was like what they were pushing in the beginning.
Yes. That's what they were doing.
And it was getting all that hype, and it was working. It was getting all that hype, all that attention. It just didn't work out. The game didn't work out once it came out. People weren't. It didn't have any legs.
We should probably go on to our first topic.
But it did sell well, though.
No, this was a topic.
That was topic, right?
It's just not like a topic. I mean, I'm not gonna write in the headline everything we're gonna talk about. Just like not. It's not different algorithms.
I'm kind of confused. What is this topic? Like
this is as Xbox niche.
Xbox niche is a topic.
Is it a niche console? Is it a niche? Is it a niche in the market?
Who chose the word niche?
That was clearly a Kid Smooth move.
Not a Kid Smooth move. I responded to something I saw on Twitter that had
it wasn't a Twitter poll. I thought, or
I think
something.
it's a brand that's pretty well recognized, but I think that Sony and Nintendo in a lot of ways are more recognized because they've been in the industry a lot longer. You know, I think that you can take some of the characters.
You mean globally?
Well, I'm sorry,
Globally,
globally. That's what I meant to say. Globally, because
If
if you take some
anything-
of the characters from the Xbox games, you can take Mario. Everybody knows Mario, but it would be kind of hard to say who's this guy. And you show Master Chief, or you show somebody from
To be
one of the
honest,
Gears Wars.
you know what?
Not a lot of people are
mean-
going to know that.
I mean, even Sony
be
doesn't
honest,
have that
that's
type
one
of
thing,
claim.
I don't
compared
think, to be
Nintendo.
honest with you, like 100%. Besides Kratos, I don't think Sony has like
No, they don't.
a global
Hey, you know-
iconic figure. Because I do think
People-
Master
You know
Chief
what?
is that level.
Hey, you know what? I'm glad you said
people
that.
know
Last-
PlayStation
hold on.
from Final Fantasy VII. That's what they know.
Hey, can I tell you guys this? Last October, Halloween, there were literally 2 different kids dressed as Master Chief. There were a few Marios, a few Luigis. I didn't see any PlayStation characters.
really-
So that point is
No,
Are we
I mean,
debating
there's-
if PlayStation has as iconic characters as Xbox? Because that's not before God of War 2018, Kratos was nobody was really talking about this until they announced God of War 2018
right.
a couple years ago.
Exactly.
Master Chief, that franchise has made well over $1 billion. You know, it's you got to compare what they brought in and the overall game sales, and I'm sure the longevity of that platform has come into play with the PS1, you know, and PS2, and they've just had more consoles overall. But I will say that who started this whole niche Xbox thing? Because I'm trying to imagine how
I've
this
seen
will
it
be
on
taken out of
Twitter
context,
before.
but it
Black
doesn't
I've
seem
seen it
like.
on Twitter before.
Black Bond
Oh, you
started.
play Black Bond?
Oh my god!
Porter,
Black
Oh,
Bond
so
started that shit.
that's kind of the problem right
He can
there.
talk
Like
his shit.
that idiot, he screenshotted something of mine the other day. He's like, maybe there would be no doom and gloom if you would be ask Xbox for more. I'm like, maybe you wouldn't sound so stupid if you just knew that I ask Xbox for more every fucking week. So, you know, it's Black Bond. Who gives a shit?
Well, there you go.
Fucking niche. What an idiot.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I wouldn't say,
mean-
but I wouldn't say Xbox is niche. I mean, they're very relevant, obviously in the US and still in the UK. I would say in
don't
places
think-
like Japan, yeah, sure,
I
they're,
think-
they're very niche.
Well, in Japan,
I don't
we
even
wanna
think
talk
like
about those numbers.
when it comes to
don't wanna
Xbox
talk
being
about that.
niche, I don't even think like they're nowhere near that level. I
No.
think there's two levels of Xbox in the world. You're neither in the regions like we are now, where you really like the overall concept is Xbox is a good brand, or you're in regions like Japanese where people are like it's the plague. But just because like a whole country don't really fuck with that product a whole lot. I mean, how much do they sold? Like what 200,000 Xbox One X's? Like since it launched, somewhere around there. Like how many?
Yeah.
Regardless.
what you talking about in Asia?
No, I'm talking about
Yeah.
Japan.
yeah,
Oh,
about 200 grand. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
All I
so-
know is they don't promote their service or the stuff like the same, because when you see Xbox stuff in their stores, they're putting like the Blu-ray section. When you see the PlayStation, it's in the game section. So they don't even really promote it as even a game system. It's more as a player, here's a 4K Blu-ray
I
player. They kind of promote it like that. They promote it so differently
I mean,
than we
it's,
do in
it's a
America.
great deal. It's a great deal on a Blu-ray player. I can't say I blame them.
I can't like when it comes to that. It's like I said, either it just because the system doesn't sell well there, don't mean people don't know what that brand is. It's just
Yeah.
people don't buy that brand because the
Right.
Switch is taking over fucking Japan like crazy, and people would buy PS4 there before
people
the
know-
Xbox One.
Sucks. That's the thing. To them, it's just a matter of, we know the company that makes the system, but what does the system really have to offer? They don't really even give it a chance. So how would they know?
I mean, just because Honda may sell more than maybe what say BMW or whatever doesn't mean that BMW is niche. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
fuck, just because it sells more doesn't mean.
Well, I'm pretty
However,
sure Honda
however,
doesn't
Psycho, you're
sell
gonna get
more
in
than,
trouble for doing that.
BMW.
You're gonna get in trouble for that comparison, though.
Well, but
just let
I'm
you know,
saying,
Psycho.
I'm pretty sure
I'm
Honda
just an
doesn't sell
example.
more than BMW, but that's neither here nor
I mean,
there.
they probably sell
It's-
more because they are cheaper. Do you know if they sell more or not? I mean, I'm just
I would-
saying.
That sensitivity did not just say that
look,
Xbox may
all
not
I
even
know
be a
is-
brand
I don't
anymore.
know about any of you guys.
Shout out to you,
but
Mel
I
Sensitivity.
know-
You prove that you're a dumbass.
This
Good
is what
job.
I'll say. I don't know about any of you guys. I lived in Europe and I've been to Europe. Everywhere you go, everybody owns a BMW. All the taxis
That's
and
in
police
Europe.
cars are BMWs.
That's in Europe.
So,
That's
but
in
when
Europe,
you go
though.
to Japan, all the freaking police cars aren't Honda. So it's kind of like everything. What I'm saying is to you, like, I can hear your point, but like, what I'm saying to you is like, I'm pretty sure, like the Honda and BMW comparison, it might be a bad comparison unless you've been there to view it for yourself. I've been to Japan, I've been to Europe, I live in both places, and I can tell you that. And so what I'm saying is, like, I know that Honda is not outselling BMW.
You have to think about this. You have to think about this, though.
He's looking at it from an American perspective.
Are we really not talking? Are we talking about cars now?
Can we?
I'm like, what's this car comparison?
Let me just say this really quick.
Oh my God! Can't take control of your podcast.
I'm just saying really quick. Honda makes a variety of different types of vehicles. You know what I'm saying? Like they make trucks, they make fucking cars, they make motorcycles. So they're broader than BMW. Regardless of that, like it's just an example. Examples aren't exact. It's just an example.
Right.
So yeah.
All right. Now that we're done with that, what do you guys want to talk about?
There's a list of topics, man. Relax.
Good. That guy in the chat, he's getting upset, man.
Addict is going at kid's throat. That is like, where's the topics, man? Come on.
No, he was just making a point. I get this. I get what he was saying. Yeah.
But all right. So EA has somewhat revealed Xbox One sales if you did some sort of math. But there seemed not to be lighting up.
It's called subtraction.
People are running with their this total and they're kind of just having a field day with
people are dumb.
Of course, they're gonna take whatever information and bend it to their will, whatever what they want to say.
29 million.
They're not gonna want to know these specifics, like what's the basis on what's in these numbers, whether it counts the X or whether it's just the regular Xbox. Like it's just Twitter. Just the internet.
Does it really matter though if it counts the X or not, because it's supposed to be in the same family? So I figure it wouldn't matter.
Well, yeah, if it's still the same family, then that's still
like I figure sales would be sales.
Yeah, that's like possible.
Xbox One S and Xbox One original. You know,
I figure across the board, like Sony's console sales and the Xbox console sales, the PlayStation brand and the Xbox brand sales are just sales. Like, really wouldn't matter if it's the X or if it's a Pro or if it's a Slim, or I mean,
what did you say? You're talking about the total. If it's not,
what I'm saying is, does it matter as far as the total number?
Well, yeah, it does matter because it's like, what are they? Are they missing some of the? Are they missing the Xbox One X in that total? Are they missing some markets in that total? Because the thing is that there's something wrong with the total, because even analysts has come out and said that, well, according to EA, if you did the math, you would think that the Xbox sold only like 3 million in the whole year, when in fact that holiday they sold over 3.8 million. So it's like that's off. Something's wrong.
They did 1 million this past February alone as well.
That's what it sounds like. They're missing certain regions, certain countries. That's what it sounds like.
But really, kid, here's a question for the whole panel. Does it really matter? Like, who gives a shit, dude? I mean, am I still getting?
Yeah, I think it doesn't matter because they're low anyway. Like even 36 million, 29 million, like even if Z Huge had that calculation and saying they don't calculate Japanese numbers, like he was saying 35 million, they're saying from the calculation 29 million. It's still it's not where the 60 or 50 or 70 where it is to be like up there with the PlayStation. So it's still kind of relatively low. Like you're talking about 36 versus 29.
I don't understand why everything has to be compared to PlayStation.
Well, it's a competition.
Because it is competition, and you also, when it comes to the deals they get behind marketing deals, that has a lot of sway.
Right. So,
and mind share, the deals don't matter.
No, that's more about relations than anything.
No,
well, if you look at it like
it's both.
Microsoft, I'm sure, like we're not seeing Rise of the Tomb Raider, like the Shadow of Tomb Raider exclusive anymore. I'm sure they got to pay like tons of more money.
You said marketing deals. You didn't say about that. That's a completely different.
That's marketing deals.
Microsoft came out and they responded to the Variety.
Yeah, they did.
Those numbers were incorrect.
You know, I tell you,
they didn't say what the number was though.
29 million.
They just did a Trump
to the PlayStation with the amount of multi-platform sales and the difference between those two consoles. If it's really at 29 million, which it's not, then that's kind of a compliment for how much software it's selling in the multi-plat games compared to the one that's at 80 million almost. So, I mean, at the end of the day, the numbers are wrong. At the end of the day, no one cares. At the end of the day, like I said before, the Wii outsold both last gen. It didn't fucking matter. Just enjoy what you like, man.
The only one that cares is Microsoft because, like I said, it helps to just bring people over. It helps to bring exclusives over to them.
Well,
it helps to bring more deals.
And I think whatever those numbers,
they can't mind will that into existence.
But whatever those numbers
that's
are,
not coming.
I think they were enough to make them shift to do all this PC stuff and to do all this stuff. I think that was a big factor in a lot of this. Their decision to do a lot of PC stuff, day one exclusive games going to PC, day one Game Pass. Like I think that accelerated that process much quicker. I think because of whatever that number is relative to what's going on in the console space. I do think that accelerated that.
I got a
OG John cares for some reason. He thinks
he does. OBJ Don always cares.
He thinks he's getting paid for some reason.
I got a question. So let's say the number.
Shout out to OG John.
Let's say the number is 25, 35, whatever, 22, right? How does that change for us, the end user? Are we not going to get games? Are we not going to get a next console, next generation per se? Like what?
No, we'll still get Xbox.
What is it?
Yeah,
we'll still get Xbox. So why is it so important? Or whatever.
And you know what?
Well, they're still profitable. They're still profitable. That's what matters in the end.
Some of these guys might think some of us are, of course, people like these radicals. Some of these radicals we're seeing here, but even when the Xbox One S was winning MPDs when it came out, remember that it took the back half of the year. I was saying good job, but who cares? Same thing. When Xbox finished, I think, in front of PlayStation in one of the recent MPDs, and Switch took first, right? Good job. Who cares? It's the same thing. I mean, just go check the videos. They're still there. So it's, once again, it's not really that big of a deal. I don't think.
At the end of the day, let's assume that the number's at 29 million. There isn't a publisher that's going to ignore a $29 million, a 29 million install base.
Install base. Yeah, I agree. I mean, we know they're not.
Does that mean we're not going to get the game?
No, of course we're getting
it. I don't think it doesn't mean we'll get the games because from the third parties, we're going to get the games. As I think, in some hindsight, maybe the first party games could be prepped for the next generation, and maybe they'll be shown, but they won't be as hardly pushed on this console.
Well, they have to provide games. I mean, that's what Game Pass is all about. If they don't provide games, how are they going to turn that into the Netflix service they want it to be?
Correct. I don't think. Yeah, people keep going about next generation. I'm like, dude, Game Pass isn't going to just die with the Xbox One. It's still going to be here for the next console and everything. So it's
people are like, they're throwing this Xbox will turn into a service. What from my calculations, PlayStation Now was out way before Game Pass. They tried the games as a service thing years ago. Game Pass is just the first thing that does it properly. So, that argument's out the window, too. Game Pass is great.
Speaking about that, what's his name, just posted an article. Who was it? I got to say, I just liked it. They just hiring a group now to stream Xbox games to your phone. That's the next. Yeah,
which I actually already talked about that over a month ago.
Xbox Game Pass. Well, that's where Xbox Game Pass is going. It's going to that.
It's going to turn into an application where you can just stream everything in that library. Just like Netflix.
Yeah, and I don't think they're going to get rid of the console per se.
You said stream. So something like PlayStation Now.
Yeah, pretty much on your phone.
Yeah, you'll have that option. You'll have that option.
Janice Corden just did it. Just posted. Where was it? And I think I definitely think there will be a console because they need definitely a device, a Windows 10 device to reach that kind of television market and have it in the living room. So they'll definitely be making those. But like Xbox Now is really just it's a Windows 10 device. It's another way to play for them. And that's where this whole shift is going, is that it's another device, just like a PC is a device to play on, the Xbox is a device to play on. And that's kind of the shift that they're going towards. And then the other thing is that to reach to other devices, such as possibly a Switch, possibly a PlayStation, possibly your phone, they will turn that into a service. But I bet you the differentiation will be that you could download them natively on their own devices, whereas the other ones, you just stream them. I could see them doing something like that.
Game Pass is never coming to PlayStation. I mean, they won't even let EA access on PlayStation.
Well, not now. And I don't think PlayStation.
Not now.
Actually, not now. I'm just saying it's Sony telling them no. I bet you they want to.
Sony
Microsoft have no desire to throw all of their games on the PlayStation.
Well, they want Mixer over there. I know they want Mixer on the PlayStation.
Oh, that's a streaming service. That's a little different. That's like Twitch,
Yeah, I don't think they want to put them there just. I don't think they want to put them there just right now. But definitely, in order for them to reach billion, I don't think
they don't
the question.
We'll see when they let them.
But you gotta understand,
to
reach 2 billion PlayStation, 2 billion, you don't need to put your thing on PlayStation. You can reach PlayStation gamers. They just have to play it on something else, like a phone, tablet, computer, or an Xbox. So it doesn't mean it has to go on PlayStation.
You need mobile and PC. And you get
I think mobile's the big one. Definitely, they want you on mobile.
Yeah,
Android
but the one question I want to ask the panel is anyone worried about the quality of these games that are going to be coming to Game Pass? Because if you look at how it's going so far, you got Sea of Thieves, which you could argue the quality of that game, how much content's in it. You have obviously State of Decay coming out, and it's been brought down to a $3 game, which at first everyone assumed it was going to be.
It was never a $60 game, though. It was always a $30 game.
But the perception was out there. And
the perception,
Microsoft will let people think that. Microsoft.
The developers say AAA too, and I think people are using that.
Yeah, they did. Too. Yeah, they did say that.
Yeah, developer did say
that game was never AAA though.
No, I mean I think the price point makes it obvious that it's not AAA.
What are they gonna say? The first game was it was a sequel to an Xbox Live Arcade game. Like everybody was hoping for it to be kind of like. First off, it's not even really the game I thought we were gonna get. We were gonna get that MMO because they were teasing that back when State of Decay 1 came out. They're like, "Oh, next game it's the MMO." I think there was like a project name for it.
No, because they pulled a No Man's Sky with that game, where everyone was getting hyped for it, and they let people believe it was going to be a $60 game. Just like
there's a difference between letting people believe
and
lying to them.
But they never said it. They never said it was a $60.
They never said it, but they said they were treating it as a
AAA. But they have to control the narrative.
No, I don't. No. I don't even think you can remotely put those two games on the same level. You have you have interviews where that dev literally came out and blatantly lied on multiple occasions of features and stuff that was never in the game.
I'm not putting on the same level. I'm not putting on the same level. I'm saying that Microsoft did not manage it well. They let people get a different idea of what the game was going to be.
Well, how do you manage something that's like? Because remember, we had those ideas like well before a release date and a price point was not. You can't control people's assumptions though. That's crazy.
I don't know.
Like
people,
for example,
I don't know. Sony.
You look back at God of War, right? And you look at Knack, right? Did you assume Knack was going to be like a $60 game? Did you have any questions about God of War prices, being that you played like the last
Knack was 40, right?
Yeah. So it's like
40.
it's like, so how's the State of Decay 2 coming from Xbox Live Arcade? Now I am one of the main culprits that I told you I assumed it would be a AAA game, being that they showed it at
everyone thought that. I mean, who didn't think it was going to be?
Well, I think it was because the company that they announced it in, they kind of announced it as they're part of their lineup with Sea of Thieves, State of Decay 2, and Crackdown 3. And I think people just it kind of got elevated to that. They even said it on Twitter, but I do think that everybody kind of using those three together.
And I think it's a little unfair to blame.
Someone brought up the quadruple A. That they're looking for studios and they put down the.
You know what else though?
That shit is funny.
Hey, you know what else though? They were saying we're changing engines and it's a big game, and we all assumed it was a AAA. Yeah. So we just assumed it was going to be a AAA game.
They did say they want to give people a AAA experience, but as far as the game, in reality, it's not a AAA game, man.
And the price, do think most importantly, though, the price reflects that, unlike something like No Man's Sky, where not only was it nothing like it was supposed to be, but they also charge you $60 for it. So
that's the worst case scenario.
Yeah, I think he's a $60.
I think to control people's expectations. The first trailer, when that trailer hit and showed gameplay, I knew what it was going to be, and also knew that it was not going to be a full price title. So, I mean, I don't know. Maybe some people didn't check their expectations, but I'm fucking hyped for the game. I love the first one.
I'm hyped for it too, but it wasn't until E3 that we saw that trailer and we're like, okay, this looks a little rough. And
it was about a year out from release. I mean, that's about the norm.
That's what we realized though, that it's probably not going to be the game we're expecting.
I mean, that's exactly what I expected. I said it before I saw the first trailer. I mean, that's State of Decay 1 with co-op and improved mechanics all around. with better animations and stuff. I did a graphics comparison, and it's impossible to say that's not a pretty big jump from the first one. I feel like a lot of people didn't play the first one, or remember. I put them side by side, and it's pretty massive.
I have to agree with you, Dylan. There's a lot of people that claim they played it, but then when they have their complaints, it was like, dude, that's literally not how the first game was.
I heard people say the characters look exactly the same and stuff.
I've
heard that played it.
The first one does not look good.
I played it on 360 and I put it down because it just to me ran bad. I played it again on Xbox One and I was like, I'm still not feeling it. I played it for a long time.
Even on Xbox One.
Yeah, the only thing that made me really want to play this one was when they said multiplayer co-op. I was like, good, my friends and me can go through this world together. But I thought it was going to be kind of a different game, the story element. And I'm just hearing this basically from what I'm getting. It's the same game, just with multiplayer. There's really no stories. It's kind of like build your own base. It's kind of do what you did in the first one. We just made better graphics. And
the first one had a kind of a story, though. It had something.
This one does too. The achievements were leaked, and there's potentially 3 different story outcomes of it. So,
and see, that's what I've always asked the question: what's the end game to this game? Because I kind of feel like this game, there's no true end game. It's this kind of game you just go in there, you kind of do your own thing and have fun, which can be cool, but I'm just not interested.
If you ever played the DLC, it's called Breakdown.
Yeah, I played it.
They basically that's kind of the end game of this game. But of course, after you're done with the narrative, you can jump in with your friends and do what you just wanted to do in the first game. Like it's $30 fucking. I paid $60 to Sea of Thieves and got fucked hard. So I'll take
you paid.
Don't talk about that trash.
Wow.
I actually supported the game, unlike a lot of people criticizing the game. So it is what it is. I kind of knew what the game was going to be, but at the same time, what really made me anti Sea of Thieves hardcore is when motherfuckers with damage control.
I don't know, man. To me, if you ask me, the writing was on the wall for that game.
Yeah, and I said that before as well. Like, I don't know about Sea of Thieves, but you know what? I wanted to buy it and see what it was about. And I knew it was a game that I'd probably check out in 2 years. And I don't like to pay money to rent the games. That's what Game Pass is, really. I kind of like to own the things, and that's just my personal preference. So I went ahead and just picked it up, man. It's not a big deal. I won't touch it until a big update.
Everyone thought there was something more.
Yeah.
I think it's
everyone thought there was something more.
It was pretty much the beta.
I just don't think people should not use Game Pass as an excuse for, well, that's why, you could have got it for $10 on Game Pass. Like, I don't want to have to use Game Pass as a fucking excuse for why I picked up a game. Like,
here's my issue with the majority of these comments that you see on Twitter, YouTube. It's people that claim that they want better for that brand, but the only reason they're doing it is to dog on that brand. They don't really give 2 shits about that brand. They don't care about what they're playing on. Yeah. All they want it's like I said, you got a lot of people out there, they're like, we just want this, we just want better games. No, you don't, because if Microsoft came out at E3 launch, it said nothing but fire games coming out this year, next year, the year after. You're going to low-key, you ain't going to ever say that. Like, damn. What am I going to run a YouTube channel off now?
But there's also another problem, real quick, and I'll just add to that, of people that are very, very pro Xbox, love the brand, love the everything about it, but they won't criticize something like Sea of Thieves. That gets to me just as badly. Because I don't
100% agree with you, dealer. 100%.
Well, I think that I agree with you to a certain gaming addict to a certain extent, because I kind of feel like there are a lot of people out there. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
You can tell the people that criticize that actually want the brand to be
right.
better.
Like
this motherfucker over here named Jazz. He gets on my nerves.
Oh,
but
that's right, baby. That's right.
I
wouldn't know kids doing if I didn't like Xbox. Come on.
I do want better games, but the only thing I kind of like, and once again, it goes back to the whole thing. This generation, especially right now in this time, it's speculation. Like, it's this theories of what if, and that's I think the problem is kind of been with the Xbox.
You got ran out for Xbox
within the last year.
You're gonna have to unmod him so I can time him out, kid. No joking.
The big Randall Hall, man.
I think it's.
I heard Rand's pony feet coming in here.
I think if he got timed out, that would be the only time that man has ever been timed out.
Yeah, I just think that we gotta see it. We need to see a future plan with with games, and as Phil Spencer said, he doesn't want to show any.
I agree.
He doesn't want to show his hand. So coming out with fire after fire, I don't see that happening. That's a speculation. I don't see that happening at all. I don't think we'll see anything that's purely fire, truthfully, until next gen. Any games we see now, they're going to be on the next gen consoles, and they may be on this generation, but you're going to see a lot of games. You're going to be like, that looks fire, and that's what's going to sell and promote their next generation consoles.
I don't think that this whole.
What do you
the
see?
way that their
all
movement,
we're
the
doing
game
is speculating.
Well, I don't see this whole. I don't see Microsoft with this whole like generation thing. I think whatever games is coming out for the next Xbox is going to be available for this Xbox.
Yeah,
I said that before. I said that.
Yeah,
before.
so it's like
that's why they're investing.
I'm not calling them next generation games. If it's going to be available for the Xbox, is going to be
that means it's been developed.
Relevant. You know,
what he's talking about is being developed for the Xbox One, but it's going to be ported to the next gen.
Yeah, you'll be able to play all this stuff. I mean, but the problem is when you look at the Xbox as a platform, as a gaming console, as far as games you want to play, I don't see a road going forward and saying, I want to play this. I want to play this. And with their competitors, they've shown you games, and then 2 years later they come out and you're like, damn, it's here already. And with the Xbox, it's not really that way this generation.
I don't think any platforms come out with fire to fire, honestly. I don't. With the PlayStation...
Wait. Have you played God of War?
Yeah, I said fire. I said fire after fire. That was fire as fuck. But
I mean, I think it's selective.
Before God of War, I didn't turn on my PS4 Pro in 7 months, and that's
but I think that's a selective thing also, because you got to look at it like
it's about once a year.
When you look at last year and you look at what the competitors had, they had games within gaps with the third-party games, and Microsoft really didn't have that. So my whole thing is like that's kind of been what's going on this generation. Like Microsoft or Xbox is the game company. They haven't been able to fill in those gaps. The third-party games I can play anywhere, so I don't. You know, it's like whatever. If a good game is a good game, but the problem is like what do I play? Like I'm sitting here waiting for the next Halo game to come out, because I don't have a reason to really turn my Xbox on. There's nothing I want to play on there.
And when I say I don't think any one of them put out fire to fire, I mean for me personally, like God of War was
I get what you're saying.
But Horizon Zero Dawn to me was okay. Uncharted 4 was fucking awesome. But those are the 3 games that I played in that order because the X plays getting better anyway. So I play on that.
That's the thing. It's all preference.
It's preference.
If you ask me, like last year, I was playing nonstop games. I saw people on Twitter saying like, "Oh, this is a terrible year." I'm like, "Not if you're on PlayStation, because I like all kinds of games. So I play Persona 4. I play Neo.
Exactly.
I play Horizon. Neo. I play all these games. I had
there were fire. It was a lot of fire last year.
If you like those type of games, sure you had time to play. But
I think also like when you. The one thing I always look at when I always see Twitter feeds and I always see podcasts, the one thing, and I kind of agree. Somebody on a podcast said it, and I said it before. Like the podcasts are really not for the casual and core people. Like the market, the majority of the people who own these consoles, up to the 80 million on this side, the 37 million on this side, the 16 million on that side. They're not listening to these podcasts. They're like the 1% of people. So the reality is the casual owns the market. So they dictate where the market goes. Guys like us don't really dictate where the market goes. Not for the most part.
But I know nothing proves this more than the fact that they were able to get away with not having games at all last year, and they still made a profit. Like nothing proves that more than that fact alone.
They're up 15% this year.
Yeah.
Either way, none of us benefited from that. So I don't
but also too last year this S didn't sell as well last year. Like they should be up this year because they had their worst
third party games pick up that slack. As much as like exclusives just give you a reason to move
that's why I was surprised that with the X they didn't really go real hard on third party exclusives. I think everybody thought that when they moved their booth and everything like that they were going to go real hard, and they only had the 2 really that they really partnered with Assassin's Creed and Shadow of Mordor.
Mm-hmm.
Like I thought they were going to push really hard for third party, but see that's the other thing though, man. It's like
the budget is not
there, and that's the biggest problem is like they're not grabbing those marketing deals. And I'm not meaning marketing deals where you put a logo after a game. I mean that you're getting content, you're getting stuff which I know Phil's not a fan of, but that to kind of push stuff to look like your brand as you try to get more games coming out. That's where Sony got that and the games, the exclusive games coming out. That's kind of like a double whammy to them.
Someone pointed out that every PlayStation 4 exclusive has had some type of DLC, and I'm wondering when is Gears going to get that? When is Halo going to get that?
You want to know something that triggered me? And I don't want to jump off topic, but man, when Rod Ferguson said I wanted a Brumac in Monster Hunter.
Oh my God!
And
continue.
Then
Let's
said yes. I was yelling at my phone, going, "Where the fuck were you last year when this shit was coming out?
When the deal could have been,
the deal could have been made, but
exactly.
Why wasn't Phil?
Why does that
done?
Like, oh my
because,
God.
man,
what he's saying
I'm
is,
gonna tell you why. I can already tell this is gonna go way off road.
No. I get what he's saying is when you.
No, I'll tell you what I'm saying. This is what
Go
I'm
ahead,
saying.
because I know what
I'm
he's
saying is why Phil wasn't knocking on Capcom's door, going, "Put a fucking Brumac in my game." And do it. Instead, they got Aloy running around, and Sony got the deal. The thing is they gotta be aggressive. They're being kind of going, looking back.
You know what?
They just want devs to kind of
Capcom,
dude. They just want
I'm gonna shut this down.
They got Dead Rising. They knocked for Dead Rising, right?
Yo, Jazz, I'm gonna shut it down right now. Listen, the only reason why you didn't see any of that is because they did not have the budget. They did not have the funds.
They're
$1
billion fucking dollars.
They
made all this money, though.
Wait.
We're talking
about the Xbox division.
I think people get.
Division, not
I
Microsoft,
was going to say that.
Not Microsoft. Listen, and here's the thing. Here's how I see it. I see all this money. How they're saying the checkbook is open again. All this money is coming back finally. Their budget is going up. I don't think this is for this generation. I think they're looking to the next generation. I think a lot of these games that we're hearing about are the big investment is to push the new generation. They are done with this one.
I'm going to say one thing. Okay, I understand they're ready for next generation, but the thing is if they keep putting more doubt into what's going on, because I think that's where all the Twitter shit's going on. There's doubt now. People that were loyal Xbox fans have doubt. There's doubt. I have doubt. Because I'm like, what is next gen gonna look like? Because guess what? If you kind of chase everybody away, going, I don't care where you play, go play. I don't care where you play. I don't care. Well, guess what? How are you gonna get them all back to buy your shit?
Phil's kind of like the grandpa, like, go play, get the fuck out of here.
I don't care. Anywhere, go play.
I think it comes down to why we're in this situation, man. It's the killer app. Man.
Yeah,
have a killer app.
You know what? With next gen, I just want to throw this out there real quick. With next generation, they have so much going against them that some people aren't.
It's tough, man.
For one, for the first time ever, you've got a massive amount of people that have invested in digital libraries that they're not just going to want to leave behind. So Microsoft are already at a disadvantage. A lot of Sony guys are not going to be like, all right, I'll abandon my $1,000 worth of games that I had on the PS4 and go to the Xbox. So it's going to be even harder for them to get those guys to switch over next gen. Yeah. They also need to have the fastest hardware, a ridiculous games lineup as well. They need to have the advantage in every category just to really stand a great chance at turning things around, in my opinion. Doesn't mean, I'll get it day one because I'm a fan. That's where my games are, my friends are. But to gain those PlayStation guys back is going to be really, really hard with those games they already own PlayStation.
Yeah. I think Microsoft, they're setting it up so you don't have to upgrade, so you can keep your system because they're going to make these games backwards compatible with the old systems.
So you're saying forward and backward compatible?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, they're setting it up. Yeah, they're setting it up so you don't have to leave you don't have to worry about, there's a new system out, I have to get it. No, you can still, they're going to make it so it scales down. You can still play these games. If you want to upgrade to a more, a better experience, you can do that. But the option to stay on your console is going to be there. So they're more worried about keeping the people they have over trying to get them over into a new generation.
So what you're saying is they basically, the user base they have, they won't lose it because they can continuously just keep going forward when they want to at their own pace.
Yep, and PlayStation is on the opposite side. PlayStation is on the other side of the fence where they're like, we don't know what they're going to do, whether they're going to make a brand new system and cut off all compatibility except for forward. I do believe they'll be forward compatible with PS4 games. But when it comes to actually new games playing, I think you'll only play on the PS4 because that has worked for them so far. I don't think they want to stray from that.
So that leaves us another question. When PlayStation 4 games are playable on PlayStation 5, will people care about old games then? Will they be happy? I mean, I better not see some of these guys celebrating with backwards compatibility.
Well, here's the reason it'll matter. I'm gonna tell you why it matters.
Remakes can still be done. Remakes are still a factor.
What I was gonna say is the reason it'll matter when the PlayStation 5 comes out, because at the beginning of the generation it really helps. And Microsoft's what they did with the Xbox is the backward compatibility thing. If it was at the beginning of the generation, I think it would have helped them, but it wasn't there day one. It was something that took time, and I understand that. So I think backward compatibility is only as good as the beginning of the generation, because eventually people will just move on to the next generation of games and it'll continue. But to have your whole library go forward you, it'll matter at the beginning of the generation, because you will feel like your investment is worth this while. Right. You know, I think that's really what
PlayStation 3 they dropped it after the first run of
right.
Systems.
I mean,
was probably too expensive
every
anyway.
PlayStation console's been backward compatible for the most part up until the PS4 So it's
but
only
then they came out with PS Now, so you know
right. So yeah,
and there was no real incentive for them to do.
You know what though? When it comes to
PlayStation
though, when it comes to PS4 though, I do give them a slight pass, because the cell processor they had in the PS3 is a hell of a thing to emulate.
It's already been hacked and emulated.
Yeah, on PC.
Yeah, but
on PC. Yeah.
Yeah, but and how well? But how well? And that runs perfectly. How well does that?
It doesn't matter. Sony can figure out a way. It's their hardware. They just haven't tried.
I mean, yeah, but is it worth the money?
I don't know. I mean, am I worried? I'm not worried about Sony's money personally. I'm the consumer. Would I like backwards compatibility? Yes, that's all that matters.
It would be cool to have.
I'm saying through their eyes though. Through their eyes, they're looking at it like versus the.
I think they should make more pro-consumer moves. Sony. I think they should focus on some more pro-consumer moves. Myself, so
yeah, I do feel like
I agree.
That, like
I agree.
Sony never gets any kind of negative publicity for all the anti-consumer shit they be doing.
If they don't come out with back compat, they're gonna get a ton of.
Oh, if they don't come out with back compatibility, that's gonna be.
They will. They don't want to lose those customers and have all those games already.
Yeah, they will. You can see too. And actually, in the PlayStation Now, they've been taking their PlayStation 3 games and updating them to PlayStation 4 versions. Like I can see that they're trying to make it probably native downloads or something moving forward, but they're definitely trying to, and that's why I think a lot of their remasters are kind of that kind of forward thing that Microsoft was able to emulate the past, but Sony has to kind of do these remasters to kind of get away from that that PlayStation 3 just bog them down. Right. So they want as much stuff running on the PlayStation 4 when they go to the PlayStation 5. Whereas Microsoft now just was able to span it with software, and that's why one's hardware, one's software.
Speaking of.
Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, because
hold on.
Alicia has a good point
what I was
in
gonna
chat
say
too.
is,
I want to address this motherfucker.
Oh shit!
Why don't you go look at my older videos? You.
They don't do that, Addict. They do not do that.
I have been doing nothing, but you know what? I ain't gonna even sit there and rant. I'm just gonna put you in timeout. Continue.
Don't put the man in timeout.
I didn't see what he said. I'm gonna delete it.
Well, I mean, if he said what he said, yeah, it was fucked up. And not only was the internet browser locked behind Xbox Live Gold, I've talked about this several times on all kinds of shows. That was anti-consumer as fuck. Netflix was locked behind Xbox Live. YouTube was locked behind Xbox Live, and those are policies that Phil did change. And you know what? I didn't make an excuse for it. Now I thought it was bullshit. And he's right, but at the same time,
I'm just
you're going back quite a ways to come up with a great example.
I'm
tired of
you point out free to play games are still locked under that.
I'm tired of any time you point out any kind of negative publicity that Sony does. They fucking reverse it on you and say, "Well, look what Xbox is doing." Motherfucker, I wasn't talking about Xbox. Like God.
Well, last generation, Sony had a lot of negative publicity. I mean, the times have changed. You gotta understand.
What happened 10 plus fucking years ago?
But you gotta understand something like the times have changed. Have like Twitter wasn't a thing.
Talk about when my ass was like 13,
like,
15. I wasn't paying attention to YouTube like this shit.
Well,
motherfuckers be putting me in that criteria like I was on YouTube for 20. I ain't BG. I ain't been around here.
One thing I wanted to ask about, bring back to the EA thing. I didn't see that thing, but did they talk about how EA Access was doing? Was that part of their kind of financial thing? Did they talk about it at all?
So.
If they did, it didn't make the news. It wasn't bashing Xbox.
No, they don't talk about numbers.
Okay, I didn't know if they're saying how successful that EA Access is, or if because I actually haven't heard that much of it. There hasn't been a lot of noise about it, like games going to it, like how many games have been going into it and stuff like that. Like, it's been kind of quiet.
That's true. It used to be like a monthly update, right?
Yeah,
Once a month they would have something.
I think Black was like the last game I heard, which was backwards compatible, and then they kind of have it just
when
stop.
a company's not doing well in a certain area, they're not going to talk about numbers. Nintendo's like the only company that will kind of do that and make their, and they'll try to spin it like it's something really good because they did that.
Yeah, EA Access is as
here's the thing that people don't realize about Nintendo. Like, at all times, the Wii U was doing horrible, but they were selling like 20 million fucking Pokemon games that they probably put
they were making
money into, and they literally just paid for like 6 months of Wii U not selling.
Yeah, I mean Nintendo's making money.
Daniel P says the media is always favorable to the leading platform. It's a business.
It's true.
Nintendo's a pimp.
The media was favorable to the 360 last generation.
Oh yeah. And then the Wii, man, when the Wii came out,
a lot of these guys are like, oh my god, do you hear what these guys just said? Yeah, watch the fucking videos, maybe you know. Jesus Christ. You get tired of explaining things to people all the time. Kid, what's the we got another topic, brother? What's going on here?
That topic went on kind of long. Oh, damn.
Kid, you gotta reel it in, kid.
You guys can talk,
man. So
how many people's in this podcast did you not expect?
Got like 9. We got a small family in here.
That's right.
We almost got the whole Brady bunch in this motherfucker.
There you
go. Then so Microsoft is apparently coming up with their own Sony Santa Monica.
What is that? What does that mean? I'm calling it Xbox Santa Monica in the meantime.
In the meantime, yes, Xbox Santa Monica.
Really? They're actually calling it that.
Well, it's going to be based in Santa Monica, and they're looking for a quadruple.
Oh, okay, that's what
they're looking for. Quadruple A talent.
Yeah. I already knew that part.
So, what is this? What do you take of this? Is this too little, too late? Is this like how should we be looking at this as Xbox consumers?
If people are finding a way to rag on their shit, man, it's ridiculous.
I guess I'll just see what happens when they announce something. I guess that's how I'll judge it.
I mean, it's gonna be next gen. Whatever it is, it's gonna be next gen.
Right.
Anyway.
Yeah. It's what they should have been doing 3 years ago, regardless.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah, they're about 3 years too late. That's accurate.
But I remember it was all about the P's. Now it's all about the A's.
I wouldn't say it's too late. It's not. It's definitely not too late because this only makes things better for people that are looking for new games from Microsoft, like myself. Been pushing this for months and months and months. This is great news to me because quadruple A games are apparently a thing. They have budgets well over $100 million.
Oh, please stop with that quadruple A shit.
It's real. It's apparently real. And just to work here, as Kids Move was probably going to say, you need 10 years of experience in the gaming industry. To be a lead producer, executive producer, you need at least 4 years of experience. They're not fucking around here. And to top it all off, Kid, let's go into who you think is going to run this studio.
Oh, I got it.
Daryl Gallagher.
The watermelon crusher himself.
That is right.
Now, I mean, let's shine on his expertise. He's responsible for my favorite Tomb Raider games, and bringing that. He ran Crystal Dynamics, did some work obviously over at Square Enix, then went to the scums at Activision.
Someone said quadruple to the scums equals 2 controllers.
Yeah, 2 controllers. Yeah, that's just that's what I think it means too.
It comes with that Steel Battalion controller. That's a quadruple A.
Oh god.
And then after Activision, I mean, well, he quit Activision and
and he was based in Santa Monica with them, by the way. He was already there. So this new studio is in Santa Monica. And what do you think about that, Kid? What all the dots lead to? All the strings on the wall that are tacked to different pictures and shit. What are you getting out of this?
Man, I'm getting he's definitely getting his own studio. I'm wondering what they're gonna call it and what game they're gonna be. Are we looking at a brand new game, or are they gonna revive an older IP? I don't know. It's just everything just seemed the thing I don't like about these damn LinkedIn's and these job postings is because one, they're very specific. Like, remember the Halo one, 4K 60. Like, why is that
looking for an elite graphics program?
Well, I saw the one before that though. Was looking for a creative director for Avatar games.
Yeah, I mean,
that was the day before.
I was an Avatar Studio till
an Avatar Studio. Yes,
all their devices.
I saw Joyride again.
But I feel like even though it's like, it's just. I don't know. It's just so much and this is the only reason. And I can't stand.
I hope that doesn't mean quadruple A means like 4D and shit.
You know what would be?
Oh no!
You know what would be hilarious?
Connected.
Oh god.
If this studio, like, obviously this isn't true, but the studio is made to make Avatar.
Oh god,
most badass
That's
Avatar.
what I mean by
avatars.
AAA. It means, like, it's not
Yeah.
only 3D, it's 4D. It's holograms.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's
It
what I
all
was
makes
thinking.
sense now.
That's what I was thinking.
They're
I was
they're
like,
making Avatar games like 1 versus 100.
Just to get everything out there real quick for everyone spazzes out here, the studio's designed with scalability in mind. So the outside contractors, they have places for these guys to go in-house and work, and when they don't need them, they can scale those contractors down. And as Kid said, Gallagher is responsible for 2013's Tomb Raider reboot. Me and Kid are on the same page. Some of my favorite games in a long time. Those two games, Rise of the Tomb Raider and the first one, absolutely phenomenal. And Matt Booty, as well as Gallagher, said on Twitter that they have a big announcement for this E3. It's kind of all pointing to this. And like I said, these budgets are well over 100 million. I didn't say just 100 million. So you're looking at massive, polished AAA games. And don't tell me they don't excite you guys. It's got to.
That's got to be good. I don't know if they're ready to announce a game that he's going to do, or they're just going to have him come on stage and show photos of the building.
They might just do an interview. You never know. I'm not saying like I'm not like, oh my god, it's the end.
This is where I'm working, everybody.
Shows that they're investing in the brand, though. I mean, that's.
No, I think it's great. They got to do that, though. I just hope that, you know, if it's something for E3, that would be great. But I hope maybe he had a game in mind. That's why they hired him. Maybe he had to pitch a game.
The studio also specializes. One of the requirements is experience creating new IP at AAA and quadruple A levels. So it's going to be a new IP for sure.
I don't want to see quadruple A in promotions. I just don't want to.
No, they're not going to. They don't put AAA in promotions, you know.
I think that was a typo. Like, it's got to be.
No, it's not a typo.
No,
I think it was a typo too.
Quadruple A,
really?
Like,
Goes on stage, he goes, it's not 1A, it's not 2A, it's not 3A.
You can actually Google some stuff about quadruple A studios, and it's a real fucking thing.
So I expect when I Google it now, because of this bullshit, that it'll be like, we still don't have the definition. We're waiting for Microsoft.
Basically, think AAA, but with a much higher production value.
I just searched for quadruple A game studio, and it's all coming up with the studio.
I'm gonna get really pissed if this dude's making
Quantum Break 2.
I got to go back.
Quantum Break 2.
I'm done.
Rand just said in the chat too. It is not a typo. So, and they reference this not only they reference this several times in the information. So it's not just one time.
Look, man.
If
they're making something like Quantum Break 2, I'm going to my Switch full time.
Not making Quantum Break 2. I don't know what else they're making Quantum Break 2.
I hope they make Quantum Break 2. I hope there's a Quantum Break 2. That's all I
prefer Alan Wake 2. I prefer Alan Wake 2, man.
Alan Wake.
Yo, was a decent game.
Troop just said just release 1A game for 1A games at a time.
Then people would bitch that they're not quality enough.
Yeah, I agree with Goku Black. He says it just means that they're going to start making actual AAA games. That's what it means for them.
Well, that's what everyone wants. So I don't care how they promote it. Just give me a good game.
Yeah, I don't care.
Yeah,
I agree with you.
That's what they need to do anyway. So
I think they're already giving.
Oh, there is a company called 4A Games.
Listen, this E3 you're gonna be here. You're gonna hear that.
4A makes Metro Exodus. There's the game.
Yep, Metro Exodus confirmed.
4A, there it is.
It's an Xbox exclusive. Planet Xbox. You heard it first.
Boom.
It's got exclusive 4K texture.
It all makes sense now, man. It's like Dakota Ring.
It's got exclusive 4K texture and a 4K shirt.
Pre-order now, and you can play as Captain Planet.
With all his gay abilities.
So I don't know. I mean,
that's what they need to do now, man.
I'm just a little confused. It's like this information because remember they did mention like they have more to share at E3. What are you going to share with us at E3? I really don't care of a studio announcement at E3. Will you like?
Mm-hmm.
They had
to pitch a game or something.
Yeah, man. With all the flack Microsoft is getting, you don't think they're going to go up there and pitch a game? Has to be.
Like, what do you guys think about this?
Scream Right too.
Oh, man.
I mean,
That's how you knew
okay,
that
well, I
leak
mean,
was
who-
fake. Scream Right too. Holy shit!
But,
shit.
okay, but
We'll
who,
put the
who could
cinema
be,
on a
who,
set.
I drop kicked the Xbox out the window.
I really think that's coming, but I don't
Oh
think they're gonna
no,
make a big
please.
deal out of it.
Just like Smooth is teasing me with Lucky Tales too. Please,
no,
don't.
I do think Scream Right 2 is coming. It's gonna be one of those Game Pass games. Like
wait.
but they better not give like that should be announced at like one of the Inside Xbox thing. That should be
Who
announced.
who developed the first one? I thought that was for third party.
I have the slide is cool.
I'll check.
No, like don't get me like I actually liked Scream Right. It was a fun game.
It was like a tech
Bro,
demo for
Wait,
Crackdown stuff.
You like Scream Right?
man, what the fuck?
Yeah, wait.
Frontier Developments, the guys that make
what I like.
Frontier Developments, the guys that make Roller Coaster
Scream
Tycoon.
Right, shit. How
Hey,
much?
we're
I thought I had a destructive personality and I like blowing shit
Yo,
up.
IGN gave it an 8.2.
Wow.
Ryan said Frontier made it.
Wait.
Apparently, someone over
Could be
there
working on
at
Perfect Dark.
IGN agreed with me.
Frontier apparently made it. According
Frontier from Roller Coaster Tycoon guys.
Yeah. So.
Oh, that makes sense.
That's definitely third party.
Yeah,
They
is
are
it
making
possible
the
they
new
could be working
Jurassic
on,
Park Evolution game. Isn't that game done though, Rand?
I pre-ordered it. Don't tell anybody.
All right. Did any of you guys get to see the E3 leaks from Walmart?
I did.
Yes, I saw
You
it.
should put that up on the screen.
You know I'm not doing this damn. No, it's pixelated.
They took it down already though.
We'll just read them off.
I ain't buying it. I ain't
Crazy
buying it.
Walmart employee did it.
I would believe it, but for some reason, Gears 5 being on that just makes me not believe
Is Red Dead on there? Or no?
Before Halo
It's a
6, even
spin-off.
though Halo
Nah,
6
it's
came
gonna
out.
be-
like,
Nah,
they
it's
don't
gonna
have
be
to
a
put
spin-off.
everything on there.
Well, some of these are like obvious. All right. So you got the Division 2, Splinter Cell, Insurgency, Sandstorm, Last of Us 2, Just Cause 4. I don't know why they would do some shit like that.
The fixed frame rate edition.
Yeah, WWE 2K19, Dragon Quest 2 for both PlayStation and Xbox.
Yo, WWE 2K19 is real.
It looks
Real.
like another.
That's real.
That's Destiny Comet.
18's real too. Got it confirmed.
That's real.
Destiny Comet, is that a playoff Destiny?
No,
I
I
think
think
that's
it's gonna
DLC,
be
their
DLC.
All right,
Yeah,
Final
DLC
Fantasy
expansion.
VII remake for Xbox and PlayStation.
Yeah, it's gonna be on PlayStation first, but it's gonna come to Xbox.
Isn't that an
Yeah, we
episodic?
already knew that.
supposedly?
We already knew
Yeah,
that.
but we already knew that,
We already
so-
knew that.
Who the hell knows?
Another Metroid Prime 4 for the Switch.
Yeah, we already knew that.
Super Smash Bros. We knew that. Borderlands 3.
Yeah, we know that.
An Assassin's Creed game, but there's no title for it. I don't think there's an Assassin's Creed coming out this year though.
I don't think so either.
That's I don't
Lego.
know, maybe they're since they got the formula that people like, they're gonna start popping them out every year again.
Coming out
yeah.
with Assassin's
I
Creed
would hope not.
remastered.
No way.
I like the new version of the Assassin's Creed. If the future one's gonna be more like Origins, I'm rocking with it.
It's hard to go back, man. I bought that Assassin's Creed Rogue, and I was like,
Be right back. Be right back.
you know, it's not easy to go back and play.
And we got Lego DC Villains.
That's confirmed.
That's believable.
Yeah.
Rage 2, that might be Bethesda, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's real.
believable.
Grant
That's
says they
real.
heard that's real. I was listening to his podcast earlier.
Yeah.
Guys.
But
I mean,
And
the developers and Bethesda reacted like it's obvious real. So
Beyond Good and Evil 2, we know about that. Ubisoft been doing like weekly like podcasts about that or something.
Yeah, I guess if you look at the games on there, you have questions about it. Maybe one or two. That's about it.
Yeah.
like,
I mean,
and
it's,
the reason
it's
that,
missing some obvious ones though
Yeah,
that
it-
should be on something listed. You know what I mean?
yeah, and you know that puts a good point that it's not hard to determine that these games are coming out this year.
Yeah.
Right. I don't think.
Last
I
of
don't
Us
think
2.
these
I don't think it's gonna hit this
Right.
year.
I don't think these are
No,
games that
no.
come out this year.
Was
I think
Last
they're
of Us
just
2 on
kinda
that
like
list?
Markers.
Yeah.
Maybe pre-orders. Like
Maybe it
pre-orders
wasn't
will
just.
stop.
Maybe these are just place.
was Forza Horizon 4? Did it say 5 instead?
Forza Horizon
Yeah,
5.
But I was
Yeah.
listening to Rand and Jed, so shout out to
Look,
Rand.
man.
I listened to your stuff, Rand. He was saying that maybe the way the person got it was just said Forza Horizon and they just put a number after it. Maybe that's the same thing for Gears of War. They just thought it was Gears of War 5. Maybe it's the Gears of War spinoff but whoever got the leak just said Gears of War, and they just added a number to it.
But then I feel like you would
speculation.
just put Gears of War or Forza Horizon. You wouldn't.
I guess.
Like,
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not the Walmart leak guy. I have no.
well, the Walmart leak guy needs to go back to school because he clearly fucked
It's
up.
Walmart though, man.
Hey, the Walmart league guy probably doesn't even play games. Truth.
I think I know who the Walmart leak guy is.
Who's that Walmart leak guy?
Yeah, see, but you know, it could be the same. Never mind, I couldn't even go there.
Yeah,
Just the guy that works at Subway inside the Walmart leaked it.
Did the Subway inside of Walmart? Isn't there usually McDonald's inside of Walmart? Or is that
No, is it the Walmart's or Subway?
It's
Yeah,
mostly
Subway.
You guys still talking about the leak? You guys still talking about the leak?
Yeah, the leaks. Yeah.
Are you even paying attention to the podcast?
No, he said he'd be back.
Yeah, I had to step away for a second.
There's we talk about Forza Horizon 5, but it should be 4. Gears of War 5, it's probably something else. I feel like I missed something. Dreams for PlayStation.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they're coming out this year.
I think they'll show, but I don't
there,
think
right?
it's coming out this year.
Yeah. That's another one that made me say nah. I don't think it's real.
I don't think anyone knows when that shit's gonna pop up.
It's just randomly there.
I think the ones that are common sense will pop up. Rage will pop up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never played Rage 1.
They need to just not call it Rage 2, though. They need to just call it Rage again because they're not
Rage was
doing
a good
themselves
game.
any favors there. With,
I was thinking about it, though, man. Like, I don't know how Rage would be in like after that Mad Max like type game. Like, it reminded me so much of Mad Max that Rage. Well, it's that look. It was that look.
We
like
actually,
that dust.
so we actually believe this game is coming though. Rage 2.
I think, I
the
think
developers and Bethesda commented on
When the
it.
part one
But
come out?
Rand says
Part one come out,
it's not working on it though. It worked on the first one.
Yeah.
They're working on the
They're using
Doom
the
2.
id Tech, the new id
Well,
Tech
this is the
engine
new
to-
id anyway. So even if it were id, like this is the Bethesda.
It's still id Tech though, right? It's still the same.
Right.
Right. I
That's
hope
the
it's
engine.
id
Yeah,
Tech.
id Tech 6 is the engine.
That id Tech is freaking dope.
Yeah.
Doom was
If
made
you
by
play
id as
Doom,
well.
right? I'm about to say if
Bethesda
you
bought
play
it,
Doom,
but they canceled
Kingdom Hearts on that?
and rebooted it.
Kingdom Hearts, I don't think was on there.
It was not.
No, I didn't see it on there.
Then the list isn't probably up to date, but I highly doubt that game's not coming out this year. And if it does,
Well, they got Square Enix at a conference though, man. Who the?
Wait, you think Kingdom Hearts is coming out this year?
They said that it's coming out this year. They said multiple times it's coming out holiday of this year. That
but they don't have a date. They don't have a date.
You know what?
It's right, bro. They always announce dates and shit like that at E3. You
I'ma
think,
be told-
we've come this far. Let's just wait. Let's
I'm gonna be totally honest with y'all about Kingdom Hearts.
I still don't think
I've
it's
tried to
this
get. I've tried to get into the
You want
franchise.
to put some money on that?
I just can't get into
there
that
it goes.
franchise.
I'm good. I'm not
Who
invested
wants,
in that
who
shit
wants
enough
to
to put
lose
money.
some money right now? Let's go.
I ain't that invested. Sorry.
Oh,
I'm not into Kingdom Hearts either. Never.
Yeah, I
could.
tried to get into it. I just can't get into it. I just
No,
cannot
yeah,
get
you're
into
playing as a kid swinging a fucking sword around made of a key.
It's a keyblade. Okay, it's not a sword.
Yeah.
it. I don't know what it is about the game. Maybe I should have played it back in the
No need to
PS2,
make
but
excuses. If you're not into it,
Yeah.
that's perfectly
I
fine.
just never got into it. I tried. I
People
just
have
can't
to
get
accept
into
that everyone's not into the same goddamn thing. It's not a big deal.
I mean, I tried. I played through damn near 70% of the game. I didn't like it.
All right, so I do have the list up.
I
I'll go
tried.
over. Okay, so here, right here, this is fucked. Final Fantasy VII Remake. That's clearly not coming out. Just Cause 4, I guess maybe. I don't feel like
We just did this list, Addict.
I didn't hear you say Final Fantasy VII Remake. I didn't.
We
hear
did. He did.
Did you say Dragon Quest 2?
He did.
Yeah.
You said
You said this whole damn list.
You said Dragon Quest 2.
Yes,
Yeah,
for
he
both
said
places.
Yeah, yeah, said that.
Like, do you not pay attention?
I don't.
I was not listening. That was not listening.
All right. For those who are paying attention, I'm about to drop a code for Conan Exiles. We're gonna drop this in the chat, so free for all. Hopefully, you're fast enough.
Hold on, let me bring up my
surprise
stuff.
giveaway.
All right, I got it.
So,
I'm gonna
if
win
you
it.
want the Conan Exiles,
I
look
got
at the
it.
chat. Here we are. Drum roll.
It is Xbox One enhanced as well.
It is.
Just like the
4K
penises.
Somebody said
Oh,
what
it's
system?
grand.
PS4 or Xbox?
This is playing Xbox.
Xbox.
Hey,
Somebody
playing
asked.
Xbox.
Like
the hell?
penises.
Playing
Never know.
Xbox. Here you go. Bingo. There's your code.
Nah, you can't.
Whoa.
You can
They-
actually
they-
make
they-
your junk
they
bigger.
censored it.
in
And
the
that's not one of them fake
American
Mikey
version.
barcodes with 6 digits less than it should have.
Oh, man.
We gotta give a shout out to
That is
fake
stuff.
Mikey Bar. I ain't seen him around in a while.
Oh yeah,
He's
that
doing
guy.
God's work.
Yo, remember who used to do? Yabara used to do. Where he used to drop codes with missing digits and stuff.
Well,
He
that
used
was
to do
there
that
was a
early
fake
on.
Bar.
Oh yeah, and you had to guess the digit.
That's why I
Remember,
started
we
following
actually
Cake
had
because
a-
he would do
We
that.
actually had a fake Yabara come in the chat and
Mhm.
kid like
Yep.
flipped the
Fake
fuck
Bar,
out.
Bar drops all kinds of shady ass codes.
Dude, no, it was so bad when Kid found out he was fake because he was like, "Someone block that motherfucker." He's done. Get out of here.
Oh man, so yeah, I think that's pretty much it for tonight. We covered like everything. Damn, I just want to see if there was anything. What's the games with gold this month?
We don't need a
Vanquish.
No, I'm just
Assassin's Creed
Rage.
Syndicate, Super Mega Baseball 2,
okay. Oh,
Streets
yeah.
of Rage?
Sega Rage,
Merc-
Streets of Rage. Yeah.
And
Raging
Vanquish,
Justice has come. Matter of fact, I think I have a Raging Justice code.
Oh shit.
I think I got a Raging Justice code to give away.
I got a code too.
That's the Streets of Rage game, right?
Yeah.
Rand says he has a question. Why does Xbox suck so much?
Because Rand made a channel, which talks about it.
Damn.
I'm sorry, Rand. I had to laugh at that one.
He knows. He knows I like Rand.
I know.
Rand's a good guy.
We all talk to Rand, fraud Althor. We all talk to him.
You mean hashtag
Well,
blame Rand?
we deemed like 20 people frauds the other day. Everyone joined. 10 Dog joined. You a fraud. You're a fraud.
Yo, why don't you ask Rand how he liked Conan? I heard you, Rand. I heard what you did.
He said, "How dare you, Addict?"
I
Come
heard
at
what
me.
he did.
Come at me, Rand.
He got an easy 1000. He made himself God mode, and he deleted it.
What?
He got an easy 1000 gamers.
Never mind.
gamers
It's
scoring it.
duplicate. It won't work. I already activated it.
I heard you,
use
Rand.
your Raging Justice
He
code, please.
deleted it.
Give me a second.
Yeah, I'm trying to get Rand to show me where the God mode is because I don't feel like
No,
playing.
he just created his own server and basically put everything up to level 60 or something like that, and then just like helped, and somebody helped him, and he just went through it and then deleted
Yo,
the
kid,
game.
let me ask you a question. Do you play any game that's enhanced? Like, really? Oh, well, why are you playing Conan? You really interested?
Conan's enhanced.
I got it.
No, I know. That's why
I just
keep
don't-
playing it.
Whenever I
That's
hear
why I keep playing
Conan,
it.
I
That's my
think of
point.
like
I
the
got it for
nudity
free.
in
I
it,
didn't
and
buy
everybody
it.
talking
Yeah,
about
I got it for
enhanced.
free.
It's just like, yo, it just doesn't go together.
Enhanced balls.
I think he's thinking of the wrong. Yeah.
Yeah, man. He's
Gotta quit thinking about the balls for a second, Jizz.
You gotta watch.
Okay.
Man. You gotta watch in Europe, man. They get the nudity patch.
Oh,
Yeah.
man. So
In
it's a
America,
DLC
we don't
pack.
have that.
No, man, we don't know what they look like over here.
No, they have a piece of cloth covering it.
Conan Penis Simulator.
If you look down at your own dick, there's a blur on it.
That's right. Everything's censored over here, man. I can't see it. I don't know what it is.
Damn.
That's enough awkward silence.
Yeah.
I don't know what Smooth's doing.
No,
What
Addict
we
just
doing?
threw in the Raging Justice code, so I want to make sure everybody got that. So,
Oh, you got it.
so that is Raging Justice. That you see that code there. So, just in case you missed out on Conan Exiles.
Balls.
Yeah. So, no, but want to appreciate everybody coming through tonight. It's getting kind of late. I'm going to mess around on this Xbox here. We are about ready for outros. We're gonna start with dirt. What's up?
Hey
man?
man, thanks for the invite, man. I know I ain't say shit. I ain't say much, you know. But
It was a full house
you
today.
know,
We got you next time.
yeah, it was cool, man. It was cool. Thanks, man. Thanks for the invite me, man. I appreciate it.
Anytime. All right, and Jez.
Oh, what's up? This is Grinds My Gears, Jez7780 on Twitter, and you can go follow me over there. And I have my What Grinds My Gears show over on my YouTube channel at Jez7780 GMG. GMG. Well, I have to wait to change it. Anyway.
Oh yeah, because you got it. Yeah.
I streamed some VR. Yo, you hear something funny though? I streamed some VR shit. I was doing that killing floor VR, and for some reason the PlayStation messed up, and like it just got my breathing and voice, and you don't see the blue screen for an hour, and I'm just like, oh damn, oh, gotta get over here. And I was gonna delete it, but it has like 50 views, and that's big for my channel. And I was like, you know what? Let people just listen to me act like an ass. But it was hilarious, though.
I gotta watch that shit.
It'll delete it, but it has a lot of views. So.
People seem to like it, I guess. I only got like 70 subscribers though, but it's like people seem to like it. I was like, you know what? I embarrassed myself. Who cares? It was pretty fun. I was laughing myself.
If you can't make fun of yourself, what can you do?
Exactly. That's what I figured. I was like, hey.
You definitely do. I saw some of that, Jez.
And then, somebody popped up like an hour in going, hey, I'm just stopping by. You're not sharing your video, though, but it sounds like you're having a good time.
Honest to critic.
Like, I've got these Sennheisers on. It sounds like you're having a fantastic time. I wish I was there. I'm going to be honest. Jesus Christ.
Hey, critic.
You said me next?
Yes.
All right, so I get to premiere the outro, okay? I'm Honest to Critic. You can find me on Twitter at Honest to Critic, and premiering the outro here. If you're going to be a critic, be honest. That's my outro.
Corny. Continue.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's not what you said the first time I told you it. You're like, okay.
I don't remember that. Okay.
Cycle.
Yo,
Cycle's here?
Yeah, I've been here for the last hour, maybe.
What?
45 minutes. Yeah. Anyway, this is Cycle. Shout out to the chat. Before you guys go, make sure you hit the like button. And yeah, that's it.
And Merc.
Yo, Merc305. Everybody, thank you for coming out. Another good show. Make sure you hit that like button. Yeah, thank you to the guests for coming on. Much appreciated. Man, Merc305 everywhere. You guys know how to find me. See you guys next week.
And Dilla.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, guys. It's good to talk to you guys. I know there's like invisible walls in this community, and I'm trying to break some of these down here lately, especially because at the end of the day, if you don't have people to talk to and new things to hear from different people, it kind of gets old and stale. And once again, it's just a good show. If you want to hear my take on all the bullshit that was going on, tune in to the beginning of the show when it re-renders, and hit your like button on the way out. Thank you, guys.
So you say these invisible walls. Do you got like Diller TNT? Like
yeah, I do.
I'm curious the method.
It's just like Minecraft if you ever played that.
Oh, yeah. So it's fake as shit. Gotcha.
Yeah, it's fake as shit.
No, you just pickaxe that wall down.
Addict, you're a fuckface.
Well, there you go.
This is like PG compared to our party chat.
Hell yeah. Agreed.
And Addict.
I appreciate everyone for coming by, even the fuckers in the chat that are a bunch of assholes.
You're so graphic today.
I'm always graphic. What the fuck are you talking about?
He's trying to monetize
with you. I'm not even
Addict
like,
seems ill-tempered today, huh, Smooth?
Yeah, kid's like, you're killing me with the monetization.
Look, this show wasn't monetized the beginning this shit started, okay? We was like, 10 seconds in it? Dilla already dropped the F-bomb like 3 times, okay?
Oh, shit.
He's like, let's do this. He says, let's do this.
I appreciate everyone for coming by, though. It was a good show. Even the fuckers in the chat.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you guys for watching. I will try my best to get the last 3 episodes on iTunes.
You're really bad at that.
Well, I'm not being paid to do this shit, so
that is true.
It's hard. It's like
facts.
It's hard, dude.
And it costs money. And
the crazy thing, I need to actually do it because I'm actually paying for it to be like being able to do it officially. So So I'll get those updated for you guys. I apologize for the delays and everything. So hit the like button, and we'll see you guys next Wednesday. All right, peace.
Hey. Later, guys.
Look, the Nightbot started timing people out.
Really? Why?
Yeah.
People are testing with the emoji.
That Nightbot, you got a savage move. I ain't gonna lie.
Dude,
my Nightbot is the best.
He's all fire.
It's the best bot.
What did he get him for? What did he get him for?
I have no idea.
Fire. He put just all
What the hell's a Nightbot?
Yeah,
Yo,
Kevin
that
Garcia.
Nightbot has